More than 36 hours have passed and there's still no sign of a missing Malaysian Airlines plane with nearly 240 people on board. An air search ended this evening at 7 p.m, but a sea search continues. Today, authorities say the Beijing-bound aircraft may have inexplicably turned back towards Kuala Lumpur.
We look back at the recording and there is an indication, possible indication, that the aircraft made a turn back. And this is, collaborated at the moment. As we speak, we are trying to make sense of this, and is in some part collaborated by civil radar.
China has sent its naval ships to help search for the missing plane, but the search has thrown up several false leads so far. Earlier, pictures of supposed debris off the east coast of Malaysia were making the rounds on social media. These were taken by a passenger on a separate Malaysia to Beijing flight after MH370 took off yesterday. But in their last briefing this evening, Malaysian authorities said these pictures were not related to the missing plane. Interpol is investigating two passengers who may have been using false passports to board the flight. The names of Austrian national Christian Kozel and Italian Luigi Maraldi were on the passenger list, but they reported their passports stolen in Thailand. Mr. Maraldi is seen here making a police report to Thai police.
There are only two passengers on record that have flown on this aircraft that has false passport, and we have the CCTV's recording of those passengers from check-in right to the departure point. And this record of the CCTVs are now being used for the investigation of this matter.
Malaysia's acting transport minister has not ruled out terrorism but says it's too early to draw conclusions. The United States has sent the FBI to investigate.
I'm in touch with the international intelligence agencies. At the same time, our own intelligence have been activated. And of course, the counter-terrorism units, CTIs and CTUs, from all the relevant countries have been informed, and that's what I've been doing since yesterday.
Malaysian Prime Minister Najib Razak has promised to beef up airport security. Meanwhile, more countries are joining in the search efforts. Malaysia has asked Indonesia for assistance, and Jakarta has sent 5 vessels and 1 plane to help out. Australia has also sent maritime surveillance aircraft, and the US Navy's warship, the USS Pinckney, is expected to arrive in a few hours. There are a total of 34 aircraft and 40 ships mobilized for the search. The Singapore Armed Forces has sent 2 more C-130 aircraft to help in the search. It had already sent 1 C-130 aircraft yesterday. The SAF has also dispatched naval divers with its submarine support and rescue vessel, as well as a frigate equipped with a naval helicopter and a missile corvette. This follows Defence Minister Ng Hin Hiang's offer of additional help to Malaysian government. Well, the search operation has been more than doubled from 20 to 50 nautical miles, covering an area between Malaysia and Vietnam, as well as the Strait of Malacca. Channel News Asia's Indochina Bureau Chief Anasuya Sanyal has more from Ho Chi Minh City.
In terms of the actual sorties, the Vietnamese aircraft, they have about a half an hour of hover time above this site where people think that the plane might have gone down. But the actual site is several hundreds of kilometers away. It's about 3 hours flight time in total. So they're really doing what they can. The fact that this search has now been widened, and it's really a coalition, an international one involving the Chinese, involving the Americans, to find out what happened to MH370. It really speaks to the priority that they're giving to this perplexing incident. Some of these waters are hotly contested. Some of the islands are hotly contested. So what we're seeing here, really our nations coming together in order to find out what happened to this flight.
Chinese Premier Li Keqiang has phoned Malaysian Prime Minister Najib Razak to request that search efforts for MH370 be intensified. The incident has dominated talk at the annual parliamentary session in Beijing, with many asking if there were security lapses on the part of the airline or the airport.
Political advisors gathered in Beijing closely monitoring developments in the search for the missing plane.
心情很沉重。希望能够有一个能早点找着，能够大家能够平安。
我也感觉到无能为力，不会那么慢的，一定会有它的重要原因，找不到了，难道外星人掠走了？很奇怪的。
State media here have criticized the slow response of Malaysia Airlines, questioning why news was only announced 5 hours after losing flight contact. At the parliament session today, political advisors are also raising the question of whether enough security measures were put in place. News of 2 missing passengers on board with forged passports has also caused concern.
是假护照上飞机，这是为什么呢？这是不是抖了他们的责任呢？
管理啊、安全啊，这个呢，对于一个国家呢，都值得检讨的。实在呢，在这个呢，就是说，大家政协委员也说了，应该呢，为什么如果是真的是保安问题，这个应该机场有严格的管理啊。
And in the meantime, Chinese authorities are urging people not to speculate, to avoid public confusion, and to respect the feelings of the families of passengers on board. Christine Lim, Channel News Asia, Beijing.